Hey YouTube, it's Jamar back from Vegas Sense. I got a brand new comparison video today. In this video, I'm comparing a Armani Prive fragrance with a clone from Emper Perfumes. And the Armani Prive fragrance that we're comparing it to is Armani Prive's Bleu Turquoise. And we're comparing that to Prive Turquoise by Emper Perfumes. And just before I get started, always want to ask, if you're brand new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment. Also, please share the video and watch at least 60% of this video. That greatly helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. So we're going to get straight into this video because just a quick story. I got this sample of Bleu Turquoise here in Las Vegas at the, I want to say Neiman Marcus, probably about 5 years ago is the first time that I smelled this fragrance. And I love the way that this fragrance smelled. It was this fragrance, and then there was also another fragrance within that Armani Prive line that I really enjoyed. I believe I've actually used all of the sample of that fragrance, but I still had this one. And like I said, I really enjoyed this one. The way that this fragrance smells is, it's like a sweet, smoky, but salty sort of scent. So that saltiness that this particular fragrance has, that adds like a really nice, sort of edge to it that I really love. Also, the way that this fragrance sort of, comes off of my skin is it's definitely a more lighter sort of fragrance, but it's like really aromatic. It has like a really good sillage, and it lasts a long time. So when I saw that there was a clone for this, and like I said, this is by Emper Perfumes. This actually goes for like $21 for a 100 ml bottle. So I said, why not? Let's pick that one up. Let's see how close it is to the Armani Prive fragrance. And that's what we're going to find out in this video. So let's spray this on. And I mean, again, with all of these Emper perfume, fragrances that I've smelled, these all have amazing sprayers on them. They really do. Also, man, no alcohol blast at all from this, just from the start. And again, this is a $21 fragrance. Now, with the Armani, this is not a spray on. This is like one of those sort of rub on or dab on. And that's probably why this one has lasted so long, honestly. And here's the thing. So in the opening of the Bleu Turquoise, you get, and I mean, at first I almost sort of thought that this was like alcohol that I was smelling. You get like this really rough, super strong dose of like incense and black pepper. There is, a little bit of sweetness behind that as well. But the Armani Prive is definitely a lot more smokier and a lot more, I don't even want to say spicier, even though, I mean, that's what I'm smelling. It is black pepper, but at least to my nose, it almost sort of comes off as like an alcohol blast, sort of. The Prive Turquoise by Emper Perfumes is much, to me anyway, it comes off as being a lot more smoother and just a tad bit sweeter. Now, the quality difference, I can definitely admit that the Emper Perfumes fragrance does not have the same level of quality. As the Armani starts to dry down, and that sort of harsh black pepper note starts to subside, you do sort of, you can start to sense the quality difference. The Armani is definitely a lot more sort of aromatic. And I would say it's a little bit more natural smelling. The Blue Turquoise, the Prive Turquoise by Emper. This one is more so kind of focusing on, in my opinion, sort of like the sweetness. It does sort of have like a smokiness to it as well, but it's not as pronounced as like the incense note that you're getting in the Armani. And it's not as spicy either as the Armani. Now, at this point, the Armani, I'm definitely starting to get that salt note coming into this one. And so right now, this one, it smells like a salty, sort of smoky, and also sort of sweet and musky type of scent. With the Prive Turquoise, this one is sort of more so maintaining its sweetness. There's not much spice at all coming from the Prive Turquoise. And I mean, you can sort of get a little bit of like that incense from this one, but it's not as pronounced as the Armani. So here's the thing. Because when I wore this on skin, I got a slightly different experience. And I'll do that right now. When I put these on skin, my experience with these was the Emper Perfumes fragrance. That one seemed to me to be a little bit stronger coming off of my skin. And the Armani one definitely seemed to be a lot more sort of toned down. I'm getting the opposite, smelling them off of these strips. So I'm going to put these on my hand and smell them. And so now on my actual hand or on my skin here, these smell a lot closer to each other. On my skin, I'm definitely getting a lot more incense and black pepper from the Emper Perfumes. And I also am getting more salt than what I was smelling from the Emper Perfumes than what I was getting on the tester strip. The Emper Perfumes, I can tell, is still a little bit more sweeter than the Armani. It's sweeter, a little less spicier, and slightly less, it's got slightly less incense. And then also, in my opinion, it's not as aromatic and as transparent as the Armani is. But they smell a lot closer on my skin than what they smell on those strips. And that was the main thing that I actually noticed when I sprayed this. I was expecting this, with it only costing $21, I was expecting this to smell not as close to the Armani Prive as it did. And I was actually blown away by how this smelled, because it immediately reminded me of Blue Turquoise and the way that that fragrance smelled. And just smelling these side by side, there is a difference. I would say this is, at least in the opening, about probably 85%, to Blue Turquoise. And definitely once these start to dry down, I would say they get to at least within about 90% or so. There's definitely always that difference of sort of like the blend quality between these two. The Armani, like I said, it has more of sort of like this light, airy, sort of aromatic type of, texture to it. And it smells a bit more natural than what the Emper Perfumes does. But the one thing that I noticed when I wore this yesterday, when I got this in, I wore this and I also wore the Armani on my other hand. Just going back and forth with these as they both dried down, I noticed that the Emper Perfumes Prive Turquoise, this one was actually a bit stronger than the Armani was. The Armani definitely died down on my skin probably after, I want to say maybe about an hour and a half or so. It definitely, it died down dramatically. Whereas this one, I got probably about 2 to 2.5 hours or so of projection with this one. And even once it started to sort of die down, it was significantly stronger than, the Armani was. I washed my hands a few times yesterday and could still smell the Emper Perfumes version on my hand. Whereas the Armani, probably after like I want to say after probably about the second time I washed my hands, I really couldn't smell it anymore on my hand. All right. So this one, man, like I said, if you like sort of sweet, aromatic, smoky, salty type of scents, this one is definitely going to be up your alley. And if you're familiar with the way that Blue Turquoise smells, this is definitely a clone that I would recommend. I know that there's also a version of this that Alexandria Fragrances makes. I haven't smelled that particular fragrance yet, and I was looking to possibly buy that particular fragrance at some point in time this year. But I mean, I would say with me having this fragrance, and like I said, I only paid $21 for this. This one definitely, for me, it fills that void, that I had, and it definitely satisfies the need for that sort of scent DNA that Blue Turquoise gives me. So let me know, man, have you all smelled these two fragrances? Especially have you smelled the Emper Perfumes version? And let me know, do you think those two are as close as what I say they are? Let me know if you think my assessment of these two fragrances are correct. And again, definitely leave a like, drop a comment, share the video, also subscribe and watch at least 60% of this video. It'll help the channel grow tremendously. All right. So that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.